Hello friends, it's Chris Angel coming at you for another episode of Marketing for the Rest of Us. It just keeps coming. All right, let's talk about anger today. Yes, anger. Well, I had an observation. I noticed something. I was in a couple sessions recently with a coach that I have, Kara Sorensen. Thanks, Kara, for your help. Kara has an approach to life, even called body wisdom, and I love this because it comes down to like your body holds a lot of answers, right? Our heart, it has wisdom, and so much of my life, from my 20s until now, have been lived from my head, not my heart. I've had many people tell me this, and I can see it. I could see it big time, especially as I was younger. It was all about finding the right ideas. This is why reading books was so attractive to me. Like, as much as I could put in my brain, I sort of equated that to producing results. And as I've gotten older, what I've started to realize is that only gets you so far, right? Like listening to other people and putting stuff in your brain increases your knowledge, but it is from our heart that we live. And so I've been bumping up against some of the limitations of living from and trying to produce results from my head. And it was really interesting in just these sessions. I noticed an outside-in energy, like picture something squeezing you, just pressure from the energy coming outside in. That's what it's felt like when I've had to produce results from knowledge or from intelligence versus the energy that I get when, and this was the example today or in our session today, was every time I do yoga, and I don't do yoga a ton, right? But the times I've done it, my body is warm. There's this huge space in my body and it's vibrating in from inside to out. So it's coming from the inside and the energy direction is going out. So picture me as a person, me as a soul. My energy is coming from here out into the world. And picture producing stuff in the world from that direction versus the last 20 years where I've been trying to produce a result is from energy from the outside coming in and squeezing me. So from that place of being squeezed for almost 20 years, I've relied on anger as the thing to help me push through the obstacles. Now, candidly and full disclosure, I'm not angry all the time. I'm not angry I'm not like every minute of the day pissed and yelling at people, right? But my default, when something doesn't go the way I want it to go, and it causes me to have to fix something or move through something, my default reaction is something explosive and energetically. I'm like, ugh, right? And I will figure it out. And I do figure it out. I do figure it out. Because of my conviction, because of my intention, because of my direction, because this is what I'm committed to, and I will figure it out. But the energy of anger has burned my adrenals to the ground, right? How I started working with Kara was working with Kara to restore the energy in my body. But I have never connected the dots between that, right? Like the anger as my source of energy to get through the obstacles and the way that I've been feeling, right? Like just in my body, etc. Even to the point to the way I've been trying to produce results. So while anger, as an energy, is very explosive, it's like rocket fuel, right? Like you can move through stuff with anger. It also has massive limitations for how far it can reach, just like rocket fuel. Like if you burned it, it would blow up and then it would be gone. What I can also feel on the flip side is that love, which is that energy I speak of. That's what love feels like to me when I'm done with a yoga session and my whole body is vibrating from the inside out. With love, you can actually start to see that fuel is as strong as explosive anger, but that it burns slower, it burns brighter, right? And it lasts longer. So this is so fascinating. I'm nowhere near mastering this. I'm just sharing with you the revelation that's coming through for me, which is I've used anger a lot of times to get through the obstacles. And I'm noticing that there is something in me that wants to have a different response, that wants to use something that is patient, loving, lighthearted, and productive. I think in the past, if I had to explore that further, I think part of where that came from, I've always been a sensitive soul. I've always been a sensitive soul. But the challenge was, especially in my 20s, getting into business, the energy I had with that sensitive soul was to just kind of be patiently observing things. And that did not help me produce a result. And so as I started to, and it helps you get taken advantage of. When people see that you might be an easy target, you can get taken advantage of. And so I got steamrolled and walked on, right? And so I developed, I think, this ability to use anger in that type of explosive energy to move through things so I wasn't taken advantage of, to produce a result, so I wasn't just passively sitting there waiting for things to happen. But it's run its course, and I've seen where that has where it has taxed me, and I'm ready to move back to, right? Come back to who I am, to come back to myself as a loving soul. Like, that's who I am. I just have not been using that energy to produce results, right? Or to move through obstacles. I think I use plenty of love in the way I teach and the different things that I do when I'm coaching people. But I think as it relates to when I'm in my office by myself and I meet, like, my computer won't do something right, or Facebook is glitchy, or even stupid stuff like I drop something, I trip on something. These obstacles come up in my life and I get so frustrated by them. So here's the lesson for you, right? Here's a place to look for you, right? This isn't just Chris time, sharing Chris. Let's hear from Chris today. What's the gossip about Chris's anger? That's not what this is for, right? I do this show to provide perspective for anybody else who might be wanting to have breakthroughs. So the question for you is this: where in your life are you currently using an energy, could be anger, or some other energy that is not constructive for you in producing a result? Or you've used it effectively to produce results, but you see that there's some shortcomings. Maybe in your body you can feel that it's not doing what you want it to do. Maybe the energy you're using to produce a result is sabotaging relationships or other types of work. And what kind of energy would you prefer to produce a result from? What I'm seeing for myself is this energy of love, this inward energy that's moving out, not this outward energy that's squeezing me in. That this loving energy that would move out into the world is the kind of energy that has the width and the breadth to get my vision done. I can get my vision done in this kind of energy. I cannot get my vision done inside of the energy of anger. So take an inventory, right? What there is to do is start to take an inventory of what kind of energy have you been using in your business, your marketing, your relationships for that matter, in your money. I mean, it really spills into everywhere, right? But where have you been using this kind of energy to produce a result? And how has it taxed you like my anger has taxed me? And what would be possible if you stepped into something new? I don't have the answer for you. That's for you to find out. But that is my encouragement. Go look there before you start to take on the next phase of growing your business through your marketing. So thanks for hanging out with me here today in this episode of Marketing for the Rest of Us. If you'd like to learn more about how to market from a place of love and authenticity, I invite you to my 6-week program, the Groundswell Method Intensive. To learn more about that program, you can watch the free video at groundswellmethod.com. Click on the application button on the last page and fill that out. It comes to me. Thanks for hanging out with me again. I will see you tomorrow. Here's to you living from the energy of love.